now that we've seen all of the interested parties of accounting information, all of the internal and external users of accounting information, you can see how this is a field that's almost always in high demand in terms of hiring. And I'm guessing most of you are in school right now because you either want a job or you want a better job. So if you're looking at a career in accounting, and not to say even a career in accounting, but generally any career in any sort of business has to require at least some understanding of basic accounting terminology, because it impacts almost every level of a business. Almost every business transaction has got some sort of accounting impact. But if you did want to go into a career in accounting, there's a number of different fields you could do it. There's public accounting, management accounting, governmental accounting, or what I'm doing right now, accounting education. Now, public accounting, each of these fields are going to have their own set of credentials, but it's important to be aware that this is a pretty specialized field. We talked about accounting being a language. If you can get fluent in this language, you have an ability that not everybody has. And what public accounting seeks to do is make sure that people who know that language don't take advantage of it. Someone who really understands accounting has information about a business that could be very valuable if they used it for personal gain. That is, let's say McDonald's company asked me as an accountant to audit their information. Audit is a fancy way of saying investigate, just to make sure there's no errors. So let's say I go through their information, and I find out that they did make a few errors and they actually had really, really bad operations, okay? I know that, but the public does not know that. So I can really use that to my advantage by either selling stocks that I have or something like that. Now, that's illegal, but it's also something that the profession itself seeks to avoid as much as they can. Public accounting, you've probably heard of the credential CPA. That is a certified public accountant. A certified public accountant is a management credential someone can get. There's a series of tests you need to pass. You need to work in the field for a period of time. But once you have the credential, you are then authorized to work on accounting information both for companies and for individuals. And the idea, again, is that if you are a certified public accountant, you are working on behalf of your client. That is, if someone hired you, you are working for them, and you are not using your better knowledge of something to take advantage of them. Alright? Now, not to say this doesn't happen, of course that it does. However, it is frowned on by the CPA licensing board, it's frowned on by the public in general, and the government as well, because the government has got a lot of skin in the game. That is, the government really doesn't want people to not trust accountants, because if people don't trust accountants, they're not going to keep their own books, they're not going to pay their own taxes, and we can't take advantage of the lovely economy we have now where everyone is willing to rely on each other and think they're generally getting a fair deal when they get involved in business transactions. Management accounting, as we discussed, is less financial and more strategic in nature. Governmental accounting is a different set of credentials because there's a few quirks about governmental accounting that you don't have in businesses. The biggest one being there's no ownership. Nobody owns a government, whereas people do own a company. So there's really no investor interest in governments outside of getting paid back if the government borrowed money from you. So that means you have a different set of financial statements, a different set of details, and a different set of credentials as to, not credentials, but criteria, a different set of criteria as to whether or not you would gauge if a government is functioning well financially. And then accounting information, training other people what you're doing now. You could say that your regular H&R Block representative is doing accounting education every tax season, when he or she takes information from the public and does their taxes for them. It's a very big field. It's a useful field for a lot of different organizations, and it's a specialized field, because not everyone has got the patience to sit through an accounting course and learn about it, so you should be commended for even being here.